Tomahawks and Minutemen are a match made in heaven. So today we're going to see how I can marry up my Tomahawk with my Minutemen gear. Stand by for wedding bells, men. Cue the intro. Alright, men. So, the Tomahawk, getting the Tomahawk on my Minuteman loadout. Y'all know I love the Tomahawk. I got my Minuteman loadout, my deuce gear, and I've been wanting to come up with a way to get the Tomahawk on the deuce gear. I played around with it a little bit. I played around with what I call the Legolas option. You may remember Legolas from the shucks.
Lord of the Rings?
Lord of the Rings movies. He had his two swords in the back. I played around with hanging it on the back here. Didn't work. Handle's too long. That's the problem with this Rifleman Tomahawk, the length of the handle. So we played around with a few things. I got real excited at first. Excuse me. Because if you've watched our other video about the Minuteman loadout gear here, you know I've got the old magazine pouches, and the magazine pouches have these grenade holders on them. You put your little grenade, your little grenades. Listen, look at me. You put your grenades down in there, and I was thinking it would work really well. The Tomahawk could go right down in there. It actually isn't awful, but it just bounces around a little too much, and the handle gets in your way when you're running. We might, if we have enough light, I might do a little run test with you here. I might not though. I look pretty funny when I run at my age. And that's the problem with this Rifleman Tomahawk, is that the handle's a little long. It's a 22-inch handle. Of course, the great thing about Tomahawks is the handles are completely interchangeable, so I could make a handle and cut it down to a shorter length. But I really, really, really like that, the leverage you get with that longer handle. I mean, I really like it. I've been throwing it this afternoon, and I need to. It messes with the handle when you throw it. You really shouldn't throw them, but it's kind of cool when you do, so it's fun. But that means I need to work on the top handle and let it get a tighter fit, because I've beat it up and dented it throwing it. So for a while I was thinking, I wear these carpenter pants. I really like the carpenter pants. I use them at work, and I was thinking, hey, you know, we got this great little hammer holder right there. Seems like it would work. Doesn't work. Same problem. The handle gets back here in my legs and trips me up, and I fall flat on my face. So I decided I'd rig something, and I did. I had some webbing laying around, and I had an old alligator clip, or Alice clip, I'm sorry, an old Alice clip. And so I spent the weekend, I think last weekend, I spent a lot of time trying to hand sew a holder. It ended up being too small. When I finally got it all done, it wouldn't even fit on the bottom of the handle. So I was pretty frustrated. Mariah was offering to do it for me, but I wasn't quite sure what I wanted. I was making it up as I went, so I didn't know what to ask her to do for me. So this weekend I spent some more time and got it made. I was toying around, and I knew this wouldn't work, but I went ahead and experimented with it anyway, about hanging it right here. Not because I thought that was a good idea, just because I thought it'd make for a more visually interesting video. It doesn't work. This strap up here isn't big enough to hold an Alice clip, and it was just flopping all over the place. And I'm pretty sure if you tried to get in the prone position with this right here, you'd end up shaving, and we all know I don't want to shave. So I knew where it was going to end up in the end, and it did. It ends up on the side here, and it actually does really well. I don't see if you can see it. I'm not sure yet if I should keep the cutting edge going forwards or back. That's something we'll play with as time goes on. but it fits real well. Now, someone is thinking, why do you want a tomahawk on your deuce gear? Do you have your Mel Gibson, The Patriot fantasies? Are we gonna, do the whole? Listen, I don't mind telling you, I have that fantasy. Yes, that's about awesome. That scene in that movie where he goes and saves his son with his tomahawk and his knife. Yeah, that's who I wish I could be in the. But no, I like this. We live in a rural area. We're surrounded by woods. It's an axe and it's a hammer. How is that not useful? It's not a weapon. Look, if you get down into a little bit of hooking and jabbing with your tomahawk and your fighting knife here, yeah, things have already gone very, very sideways. So no, it's not about a weapon. It's a tool. Remember, the militia is not all about combat. Locating and what is it? To locate, close with, and destroy the enemy by fire and maneuver, or repel the enemy's assault by fire in close combat. That's not what all it is. Sometimes it's fighting brush fire. Sometimes it's it's just stuff. Going to the neighbor's house after a storm and hacking your way to the front door to make sure they're not trapped or something. The important stuff is always the boring stuff. There is in my environment out here in the rural area. It's not just, oh, that's really cool, even though it's really cool. I don't deny that, there might be other options, but I really like this one. Tomahawks represent something to me about masculinity and manhood and everything, and I don't know why I'm still holding the dagger. The other thing I figured out, and I don't know why I didn't realize this before, but I've got a problem with this knife and the magazine pouches here. They actually interfere with each other. It's not a huge deal. You can work around it, but it's still something I should look into in the future. Of course, this isn't the setup I want to end up with. This is the setup I have that I can afford right now. So for me, the tomahawk, in my mind, it's not just this cool fantasy thing. It is a symbol. It does represent things, but I can see where it would be a useful thing. Hammer, cutting edge. There's a lot I like about the tomahawk. The handles are easily replaceable and interchangeable, and this is just an all-around useful tool, and it's a connection to the past. For me, there's a lot to like about the tomahawk. Let me see if I can get this thing off of my belt real quick though and show you what we did. I should have thought about that beforehand. So where it is on the web gear, we've just got it right here between the magazine pouch and the canteen. And I've just got it on with an Alice clip. And now I'm not going to be able to get it off because we're on camera. And of course that's how it works. We'll do a close-up. You can see my really cheesy hand stitch in there. I think it's going to hold up good. I doubled up I doubled up a piece of webbing across the bottom and put it over a piece of webbing, and then I've got like 4 pieces on the back here. And it actually was supposed to be the other way, and it turned out when I got it all done, upside down worked better than right side up. So you can see my Alice clip is upside down. But and I sewed the Alice clip into it, so I can't just switch the Alice clip now. But there we go. It's going to work for now. I don't know how long it'll last. I almost just went to the hardware store and got a hammer holder, that like you put on your tool belt. But they're all metal and they make noise and they clank and everything, and they're not tactical. So I went ahead and handmade myself a tactical. Actually, it's not tactical if it's handmade. It's just straight up cool. So I got my tomahawk on my deuce gear now. So I got my Minuteman load up a little bit farther along. Really like that tomahawk. I've beat up the handle throwing it, so I'm not going to throw it much anymore. And actually, they said in the old days, you never actually, when they actually did use these as a weapon, you never threw it because, why would you throw away a perfectly good weapon? Now now you just gave the enemy a weapon to use against you. It's kind of like bartering bullets. If you ever barter bullets, there's a good chance they're going to give them back to you, just at really high velocities. Anyway, there you go. We appreciate you, men. Thank you.
Oh.